So many people move abroad and then within the first few weeks they leave to go home. And in today's video we're going to tell you the whys and our own personal opinions on why we think they leave.
So we're mostly going to be speaking from personal experience. We first moved to Australia on a working holiday visa, so that's the experience that we have, so we're going to be telling you about that. But I guess this does apply to pretty much all situations when you do move abroad.
Well, can I just say, the amount of people that are moving to Australia now and this is happening to them, it's happening.
Yeah. And we met a lot of people who did the same thing. They got there, struggled in the first few weeks and just gave up and left.
Okay, so the first one is finding a house and finding a job. They are two of the most important things, especially if you're on a working holiday visa, that you're going to want to find. And people crack in the first few weeks because they struggle.
Also, people don't realise how hard it actually is. They will probably, I can't speak for everyone, but I know some people will just sit there and apply for 10 jobs, expect that they're going to get one of them. Realistically, we've been there for weeks, applying every single day, trying to get a job, and eventually one comes through, and it does happen, but you have to be on it.
Or one comes through, you get an interview, and then you don't get the job.
They mess you about a bit,
Yeah.
And I feel like most people don't have the commitment or the drive, whatever, to actually just keep applying and applying and applying. They probably do it 5 times and think, oh, there's no jobs.
I also think in some circumstances people really stay in their comfort zone. So if you've got a background of hospitality, you'll be applying for all the hospitality jobs, but you have really got to open your horizon to other jobs, as in office work. Even some people have gone into like traffic work. Like, so I know some girls that go and hold traffic like cones or whatever they're called. But it's good money in Australia.
Yeah, I've done so many different jobs.
Yeah, you've got to really open your options, otherwise you are going to struggle.
It's the same thing for finding a house. You do have to just keep going and going and going. You might get rejected like 5 times, but the 6th one you'll get it. You can't give up on the first one.
Yeah.
It's obviously, it's like anything. So many people, I think, apply for one house and then just sit there and wait and nothing comes through. You have to be on there every day.
You have to be ringing, calling, going into places, asking people. You've just got to be completely on it. Don't give up, because people will give up. It's like anything. People give up in the first hurdle. You've just got to stick it out. It's so hard. It really is. You're in a foreign country and it's overwhelming, but you've got to do it.
The next point is that people might get homesick straight away. I didn't really get that straight away. I was lucky because I came to Australia with my friends, so there was 2 of us, so I think that definitely helped the situation. I can imagine a lot of people get there and instantly feel so homesick, but I can imagine that wears off.
I don't feel homesick at all. I think when you do make a big move, for us obviously Australia was huge. Luke moved out with his friend. I went straight with a tour, so I was never on my own. Whereas if somebody is going to Australia on their own, they've not booked a tour, they're just out there in the open, they don't know anybody, I can understand why they're going to get homesick and feel so overwhelmed.
Definitely.
You need that support base to keep you going, I think.
Yeah. The times out here where I've felt the least homesick is when I've been around the most people, I would say. So you just got to wait until you meet some friends, you start doing some tours and stuff, and then you're going to feel so much less homesick. Even if for the first few weeks you do, if you're on your own, that's probably why. Yeah. You've just got to give it that time.
You've really got to put yourself out there.
Yeah. Oh,
that was a big burn. So obviously there's going to be so many waves that you do get homesickness in. I just think you do have to ride them waves, and it's another thing that's going to pass. Unless it doesn't, unless there's a completely big reason why you want to go home. If you've stuck it out for 2 months.
If it's been months and months, then maybe you're in the wrong place.
Think about it. But
if it's up and down, you just got to go through the hard bits.
Like if it's the first few weeks, it's so normal.
Yeah.
So the next one is shock, maybe culture shock, because for example, we came from the UK and there's a lot of differences in different places, especially, I guess, actually Australia weren't that different.
Weren't that different, but there's still, it can be overwhelming because
you don't know where anything is.
There's a lot to sort out as well.
A lot to sort out.
You've got banks to sort out, you've got phone numbers, you've got all kinds of things, so it can
be
overwhelming.
Shock.
There is a shock in that. And I think just overall, it didn't really hit me, but I can imagine for some people, they think, shit, like, I'm so far from home.
Yeah.
And that shocks them. I didn't really get that, but some people definitely get that.
Yeah, and that can make them think, especially if you've not lived away from home as well. I think maybe if because you've not lived away from home, so maybe if you came out on your own, you had all this stuff to sort out.
I do think it would have been
a different situation. Yeah. Whereas me, I went with a group tour and they sorted it all out for me. Whereas actually this time when we've gone to New Zealand, me and you, we've had to do it all from scratch.
Yeah, but at least you've had the experience.
But we've had the experience before. Obviously, if you are young, because people come out here as young as 19, 18, 19.
You can come out like 18.
Like that is big. That's a really big, bold move to do. So there's going to be so much adult stuff that you need to sort out, and it can be a big, big shock. I guess, again, you've got to really be patient, ride through it. Once it's all sorted, it's sorted.
So the next one is that you haven't made any friends. This one can be quite hard because I definitely expected when I moved to Australia that I'd meet so many friends.
Me too.
I'd have like a whole friendship group and stuff. And realistically, we realised that unless you're living in a place for about a year, you're not really going to make any good friends. Even in Perth, we were there for 9 months. We didn't make close friends. We met friends.
No.
But not
That's the
like
thing with
super
travelling.
close.
You don't...
Yeah, and I think a lot of... Yeah, my expectations were definitely to meet loads of friends abroad.
Do you know why though? Because TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, it's showing you highlight reels, it's showing you people going out to Australia and meeting all these people, and when in reality we don't really know their story. Like maybe they did go out there with people, and there's just so many stuff around that can make you feel like your own journey isn't good enough. So I definitely stay away from social media. Also use social media as a tool, because there's so many group activities that you can do to meet new people. Definitely utilise them. Do free park runs. That's how I met a few people.
Yeah, you do have to make the effort, especially if you're on your own. I guess we have the comfort of each other, so
I think
don't have to worry too much.
The most friends I made was at work, which is completely...
Most of the time it's at work,
That's adult life for you. You are going to meet most of your friends at work unless they're your friends for life back home.
You have to give it time, because you, unless you're really lucky, you probably won't make a lot of friends in the first few weeks or whatever.
This is why I say book a group tour. Always book a group tour.
Yeah.
I just think they're so good.
So the next one is when you realise that work and stuff is very similar to back home. Which realistically, I don't know what I expected, but when you're working, it's pretty much
the same.
It's just that you have a better sort of life to look forward to on the weekends and after work sort of thing. When you're working a job, it might shock you, to be honest, that you think, oh shit, I've travelled all this way
to do just
and it's
work.
It's the same. It's the same shit, unless you're lucky and you do progress and you get a better job than you were doing.
Well, I just think it's the whole opportunity of being able to be in a new country, meet different people to back home. Honestly, work is just the same.
Travelling's like the most amazing bit of it, but when you're settled, there are so many things that are the exact same as back home.
Oh, our life Monday to Friday right now, because,
at the moment
because we are solely focusing on saving up, is just work, repeat, work.
And
it's winter.
It's not how we can do that
Let
much.
me tell you what, the vitamin D tablets are out because we're getting no sunlight.
I haven't seen sun in like 2 weeks. My Asia tan is
I'm going to have to start sticking the ring light on and putting an arrow in it.
So yeah, it's, I don't know, maybe shocked me a little bit when I was settled. You get very comfortable quickly, and then after a couple of months of working, you're just so eager to go travelling again.
Especially when you work in an office.
Even now, we want to get away again, don't we?
Oh,
we can't think of anything better than just
we just got the travel
away.
book.
We can do the work life for a few weeks, but even now, if you give us the chance to travel, we'd be on it straight away.
I think it's because most of the jobs we do are not and this is what you'll find as well. A lot of the jobs you do are not aligned with your values and goals.
Yeah, especially when they're temporary and you've just got to find something.
So it can be quite draining and mentally challenging, but it's another thing that you've just got to stick through. Try and see the positive out of the situation.
It depends, because in Perth we worked for 9 months and we had the best time, so it does depend on the situation.
So the final one is, if something bad happens and you start to panic, let me tell you, me and Luke have been in so many situations where something bad has happened and I've thought, oh, I can't do this anymore, I need to go. Obviously, lucky for me, I've had Luke there for support. One example of this is we got kicked out of our house and I need to go home. I was like, I need to go home to my mum. Honestly, in a few days' time, everything's going to sort itself out. It's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine.
And you'll definitely, if you make a decision to go home and you're panicking like that, you're definitely going to regret it.
You're going to regret it. Never make a decision out of panic.
That goes for all of these, to be honest. If you've been thinking about it for months about going home and you book it, then fair enough. I think it's probably the right thing.
Yeah.
If it's just you just thought of it on the spot because you panicked, I think you're definitely going to regret that.
Yeah. For me and Luke, it's really good because I'm very rash decisions.
Yeah,
I make a lot of rash decisions, whereas Luke's like, no, let's think about it. So we balance each other out.
Right, yeah. Because
So-
I'd sit on it for weeks and weeks, but at least we meet in the middle.
Yeah, so I think this is our advice to you. Be like us and think of the balance,
Yeah.
because no, just don't make rush decisions. They don't end well. I'm speaking from a personal
Personal
experience. Yes, I think that's everything. Okay, so that is our video done. We hope you enjoyed this one, and hopefully you found it useful and reassuring.
Again, if you have any more questions, then leave them in the comments and we will respond to them.
So please remember to subscribe and follow our TikTok as well, because we're doing so many silly things on there.
Yeah, and YouTube Shorts.
And YouTube Shorts. So I guess that's it for now.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching, and goodbye. You're so silly.